Hi everyone, I wanted to give an update on my shield wall Warbringer build, the changes I made along the way, and the things I'm still considering as I continue playing. I took a break from my warrior a couple weeks ago to try out a couple new characters, and even though I didn't hate them, I didn't enjoy playing them as much as the warrior, smashing everything in front of them. I want to start by talking about the change to the second win 3 support gem. This was recently nerfed and now states, second win 3 support now only recovers life if the supported skill actually consumes a cooldown. This is an interesting nerf at this time considering all the other strong forms of health recovery from tech rods and internal youth. Anyways, this made me change up my build a bit to have better sustain. I'm using Frozen Mandibles Companion to have the haste aura to give me the 20% increased attack speed and 10% movement speed. The health loss from berserk and nerf to the second wind makes it a lot more vulnerable when in dense combat situations and when you are absent from combat with max rage. Implementing tech rods into the build felt viable at this point considering the build doesn't have many other abilities that require very specific gems to function. This gives me the ability to add life tap to them and still not have to worry about mana. The jewel changes the key passive to sacrifice of blood, making the life skills cost more, which boosts your damage from Atalui's bloodletting and then regenerates your life cost, which is nice for sustain. Keep in mind that tech rods will perform better with more attack speed, but this is an expensive route to take and it's not necessary. Quickly going over the gem changes, Fortifying Cry uses physical mastery instead of the second wind 3 support, and for the Frozen Mandibles, use the lowest level gem you can, which will be the level 9. You head to the Ashen Forest to find a Frozen Mandibles beast with the haste aura. You can farm this by heading to the little encampment where it spawns and checking the mods under its health bar. If you triggered the checkpoint before you kill the beast, you can hit escape and respawn at the checkpoint to change the mods on the beast, and you can keep doing this until you see the hasted aura. If you kill the beast and then respawn at the checkpoint, it will be gone and you'll have to reset the zone and start over. Once you have captured the Frozen Mandible with the hasted aura, make sure you have a Brutus's Brain support in order to keep it from dying. You can try to find other beasts with the hasted aura, but I couldn't find any with enough speed to keep the aura on me when I had moved ahead too quickly for it. My next upgrades were for the gear. I focused on getting a better shield with at least 1,500 armor and some resistances. This is only going to be possible by having all T1 armor rolls on the prefix as well as 2 sockets. So an exceptional base or exceptional luck on valing a 1 socket shield with this, and getting another socket will be your other route. The weapon was next, and the only upgrades that seem viable for the weapon is a 3rd socket for the extra skill speed by valing your weapon, or the route that I took, which was sanctifying your weapon for the extra skill point. Both of these are a big risk, and I have failed 4 times doing this, resulting in my 7 skills moving to 6 skill. I've also valed weapons and completely changed some of the vital affixes, and the whole thing had to be thrown in the trash. I have been asked how to use a 2-handed mace with Giant's Blood considering how much the strength requirement gets boosted. It's important to note that the actual damage itself has no bonus for shield wall. So you can pick any 2-handed weapon with lower strength requirements that will allow the mods you want and go from there. I can make a crafting video for these items in a separate video. I tried multiple belts, and this is just another situational item piece depending on what you have already and the stats you need. I used a headhunter briefly and couldn't deal with getting ported around and didn't feel like it brought much to the build. Rislatha's coil is the biggest damage boost from what I've tested. Another belt that would be good is the Darkness and Throne with the attack speed talismans, but that is very pricey. Wastegate and using Rakiatas is still a viable option, mainly for bossing. If you want to feel more comfortable with your build and not so locked into the pieces and the stats on them, just go with a belt that has armor, health, and resistances. Constricting Command Helmet is still going to be the best in slot. The surrounded passives are just too strong to pass up, and the rest of the gear is all just stat dependent on what you need. Life Leech from the attacks is a must. You need this on gloves or the rings. If you can get your hands on an Olroth's Resolve Ultimate Life Flask, this is an amazing flask for survival. I tried different variants of the rest of the pieces for more health or more armor, but in the end I still ended up getting one shot from time to time from the T16 Citadel maps. You'll just have to choose your mods wisely as you go. Avoid the crit mods with the extra chaos or lightning damage and the reduced life regen mods. So in summary, Second Wind 3 got nerfed, so be careful using Berserker. Tech Rods is a nice addition to the build for damage and life sustain with Ataluis. Consider replacing Berserker with the Frozen Mandibles companion. Weapon damage doesn't matter, so choose a weapon with low strength that can fit the mods you need. Craft a shield with at least 1100 armor. You will need a 2-socket shield and T1 armor prefix mods to reach 1500 plus. Make sure you have physical life leech on your rings or gloves. Constricting Command Helmet is still king. Rislatha's Coil or the Darkness Enthroned belt with attack speed gems if you can afford it. Otherwise, a rare belt with life, resists, and strength if you need it. Tech Rods will perform better with more attack speed. Olroth's Resolve Life Flask is something you should try to get. Craft the rest of the gear with the stats that you need, and good luck, Exiles. If you liked the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.